Oh man, this is it for Bitcoin. We are experiencing a major shift in global markets, and this sets Bitcoin up perfectly for its next leg up. For those of you who've been monitoring this channel with us, it's been a huge, frustrating channel, but we did get the breakout last week. We have now completed a nice retest, and all the odds are stacked in our favor here for a powerful move to the upside. I'm going to break down exactly what I'm seeing in the charts and what this could mean for the next few days and weeks here on Bitcoin. We are seeing a powerful day here today, which is important. It's a 1.2% day so far today, but yesterday, which was a weekend day, we had 1.4. The day before that, we had 0.64. But it's always good that when you open up on a Monday, a working day, a weekday, you see the same trend from the weekend, because sometimes the weekend tricks you. You get a couple of days of positivity and then thrown straight back down violently to the downside on a Monday when everybody gets back to the desk. It's good to see that this bullishness is being reinforced, and I'm going to show you which level we need to be focused on right now. But first we need to understand, where are we? We're in this bigger pattern. We broke out, right? This was the breakout. We came back down for a retest. That retest got a little bit worrying, right? We kind of had to rotate at this pivot point. We didn't manage to bounce higher up. You would have wanted the retest to be on the green line pretty much maximum. You didn't want to come back into the pattern. We managed to hold it, which is really good. We didn't need to come all the way down to the red zone at 63.8. We managed to rotate from the neckline around that 66K, and that is a really bullish step. Now we need to post a higher high. Remember, we spoke about these candle closes, these candles. We got to close above those, which we have done, great. But look at these ones here. This candle close here is what I want to focus on, which is you want to focus on those levels between 67.3 up towards that kind of high of 69.4 on that candle. So we really want to go and start breaking above the bit where we got rejected. That's going to be important if we want to go and start mounting an attack towards 70,000 and 74,000 on Bitcoin. But these are all just technicals, right? You guys know the whole thing about the way I invest, the way I trade, is marrying technicals up with fundamentals. And we're getting that perfect recipe right now. Yes, the technicals are showing us we've been in a consolidation pattern for a very long time, and this price action wants to go towards 90,100. But what is that fundamental catalyst that's going to support it? We know we have the US election coming up. If you haven't watched my previous video on that, make sure you go watch that. Because in essence, in that video I break down, it doesn't matter who really wins. Longer term, they can't stop crypto. But short term, something interesting happens. And I'm going to explain the thesis that we're starting to see from institutions right now. So the market is now, whether it's a traditional market, whether it's foreign exchange, whether it's crypto as well, is responding to Trump being ahead in the polls, right? And they're now rotating towards a Trump win. So they're positioning themselves and their portfolios for the eventuality that Trump wins. And what is the fundamental difference from a finance perspective if Trump wins versus Kamala? They're saying that Trump will be better for growth. But then what happens? What's the other edge? What's the other side of the sword from growth? It's inflation. So will inflation rear its head again under Trump, who is so pro-growth that we may see inflation start to crop up again? So we're starting to see movements on gold, and of course the modern version of gold, the digital version of gold, which is Bitcoin. So we're seeing it being a powerful moment here for NASDAQ, for growth stocks, things that can move faster than inflation, as well as gold and Bitcoin, which are sometimes considered as inflation hedges. So this is a really exciting time to be long Bitcoin right now, and you're even seeing people scramble to get involved in Bitcoin as well. Of course, we are seeing a bunch of total value locks jump into Bitcoin from the restaking plays as well. I'll break that down in another video if you guys are interested, but for now, I just wanted to talk about this pattern because this is a really bullish setup. And so when you look at it, yes, we need to get the higher high that I just spoke about. We've got to start moving above those candlesticks. That's great. But I see us testing those highs very, very imminently. It could be days, it could be a couple of weeks, maybe max. I think we're going to go to that 74,000. After we get to 74, maybe we have some volatility, we struggle for a bit, we come down for a bit, that's fine. But sooner rather than later, we're going to break through that 74 mark and things will move quickly. When Bitcoin goes to price discovery, because remember, once you go past that high, there's no resistance, right? There's nothing blocking the Bitcoin price action. The market will just bid it up. And that is where the FOMO will start to kick in when everybody starts seeing Bitcoin at 75, 76, green candle after green candle. Once we break through all of this resistance, right? Because this pivot point here will be resistance. This pivot point here will be resistance. It's going to be a little bit hard for us to get through that. But if we have the patience to break through that, things should then be exciting. And I can hear all of you screaming through this. What about altcoins? Well, guys, like we said, Bitcoin dominance is going up. Bitcoin has to move. You got to let Bitcoin do its thing, right? You can't be too worried about altcoins all the time. You got to let Bitcoin have its moment. Yes, we're in Bitcoin season. Yes, you can see it's knocking back down again. We had a bit of a move here up towards the altcoin band, but back into Bitcoin season. I still think it's still all eyes on Bitcoin. The altcoin stuff will happen afterwards. If you guys have been through a cycle before, you know that Bitcoin has to do its thing. If Bitcoin doesn't get to 100K, 150K in this cycle, forget about all your crazy altcoin gains, right? Bitcoin has to set the tempo. It has to do its thing, which we've just been through here. If we want to then go see the knock-on effect that it's going to have on your small cap plays in your portfolio as well. So you should be rooting for Bitcoin. Yes, it's frustrating that you open your portfolio, which is super heavily in altcoins, and maybe you're not seeing it move as much as you want to, but that's part of the game. You've got to have enough Bitcoin. You've got to eat your veg, like I say on this channel, to have enough Bitcoin, have enough Ethereum that you see it having a sustainable difference. And that's the thing you have to understand right now, is dominance can continue to go up. You can continue to see weeks like we've just seen in the last couple of weeks where dominance wants to break through 60% here on Bitcoin dominance. And that's okay. We've been through this time and time again here on this channel. I spoke about how in the last cycle it went up as high as 70%. Maybe in this cycle it'll go to 65, maybe it'll be 63, maybe it'll top out at 64. But we still got some room here on dominance, so don't be surprised to see Bitcoin remaining strong. I'm certainly not rotating out of Bitcoin just yet. I'm all in, ready for this next leg up. That doesn't mean I don't have my altcoins. Of course I have my altcoins. The altcoins which are frustrating right now, which aren't moving, I just don't look at them. I'm just stacking them. Whenever I see a dip or a price I like, I'm just buying. I'm not expecting to wake up and go, oh my God, my altcoins have gone crazy. No. Bitcoin needs to do its thing, but it doesn't mean I'm not stacking the altcoins that I like going into the bull run. Those are still there in the portfolio, waiting and primed for it to do its thing. Once Bitcoin does its thing, I expect those to start delivering the results that we expect from our altcoin bags as well. So exciting times here for Bitcoin, getting that really, really important retest which we needed, and this structure continues to be in play. This is a really, really good textbook structure. Again, just to remind you, not only is the EMA acting as really good support here, but we have managed to retest. Really, really important. Let me just show you, let me highlight how this works with my brush tool. If I can find my brush, there you go. So we've come out, we broke out, we went for a retest. Now this leg has to happen, right? Now we need to bounce and carry onwards. There'll be resistance here, there'll be a little bit here, and of course there will be at that 74,000 level as well here, but Bitcoin has to work through each of those levels successively before we can go into price discovery, and that's where things truly start to get exciting. Dollar index, which of course is the thing we need to cool down, has started off the week in the red, which is really positive, but we need the rest of the week to trend in this direction. We need to see this happen. I do not want to see dollar index start to build some strength again and start going back in that direction. That's not going to be good for crypto. But the market suggests that they're prepared for Trump. They expect better growth because of Trump. That will likely bring in inflation, and therefore we're starting to see people position themselves, not necessarily in the US government bonds, but instead positioning themselves in the NASDAQ, in gold, in the digital version of gold, which is crypto. Really exciting time when you're seeing on mainstream media. I saw a piece by Paul Tudor Jones as well, saying that they're long Bitcoin. These hedge fund managers understand that Bitcoin is an option. It's an asset class. We've got the spot ETFs. You've got on-ramps for institutions to get on. They can actually now use crypto with sufficient liquidity to be one of the asset classes that they diversify their portfolio in. That's a really big deal. This Bitcoin thing is no longer a technology for a bunch of nerds to play with. No, we've been through that. We've been through that early adopter cycle, and now big institutions can and will and are using Bitcoin for their investment portfolios. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. If you like this type of content, smash the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. If you want to see me actively trading, it all happens in the Telegram group, ijazcrypto.com/TG. It's free. Click the link in the description and get updates on our trades. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.